Hey guys, today we are going to be talking about 5 reasons why your 30s are better than your 20s. Sorry, little 20-year-olds, I'm not hating, I'm just saying wait till you get here, it is better. So, I wanted to do this topic because honestly, Rihanna just turned 30 last week, so she just joined the club, and it really just spoke to me when she was like, 30, this is about to be my favorite era, this is the best era. Like, I know, it is. And I feel like, you know what? People been hating on the 30s for a little too long. You know, you think 18 is lit, you think 21 is lit, but honestly, I started doing research on the topic and I found most people say their 30s were their favorite decade. Like people who are older, people who are just turning 30, like everyone says their 30s are their favorite decade. So I'm like, okay, I think we need to talk about this because I definitely did not think that going into it. I definitely did not know that going into it. But now that I'm here, I just turned 30 last year. I just turned 30. So I turned 30 last year. I'm turning 31 this summer. And yeah, so far, honestly, let me tell you why I feel like the 30s are so lit. So I'm going to give you 5 reasons. Plus, I did a little quick survey on Facebook and on Instagram to get some feedback from some of my friends and just see like what do other people think. So I'll give you guys some advice and some tips at the end of the video. So reason number 1, you know yourself. So in your teens and in your 20s, you don't really know yourself. You think you do, you think you know what you like, you think you know what you want, but really you haven't had enough life experience to know yet who you truly are, especially as an adult. Consider this. In your 20s, and even by the time you hit 30, you've been a kid longer than you've been an adult. So that means you know yourself as a kid, you know yourself as a teen and a young adult, but you don't really know yourself as an adult yet. So it's not really till you hit 30 that you're like, you know what? I actually do know who this person is and like what this person wants. Like there's no games after that. Like it really hit me. I'm like, damn, like I'm 30 years old. Like I was a kid. Like I don't feel like I've been adulting long enough, but it's the truth. You really haven't. So really your 30s are the point where your adulthood really starts and it starts to get really lit. Like being adult is like lit. Aside from like, you know, bills and, you know, responsibilities or whatever, you know, like who wants to do that? But it honestly is great. So you know yourself a lot more. And then also all of your mistakes and all the stories from your past, you know, it doesn't really define you anymore. I think you get to a point where you really know who you are and it separates who you are from, let's say, your stories or your past or your mistakes. Like you're very confident in yourself, and we'll get to that. But really in your 30s, reason number 1, again, you know yourself. You truly, truly do. Another thing is that like in this Harvard study, it said that in your 30s, your personality is pretty much set in stone. So it's not going to change too much as you get older. So again, like that is another reason why your 30s are lit, because you know who you are. So you're not going to take no. Okay. So reason number 2, your 30s are more lit than your 20s. You're confident. So because you know yourself so well, you are much more confident. So you walk in the room, you're confident. Like I feel like you can tell a 30-year-old from a 20-year-old. There's just like a different level of like swag, a different type of like confidence that a 30-year-old woman has versus, let's say, a 20-year-old woman. So you know, all of your insecurities that you had when you were a teenager, when you were even still in your 20s, like those things don't even matter anymore, because again, like I said, you know yourself so well, you love yourself so much that confidence doesn't allow insecurities to really rule your life the way it did and the way it ruled your decisions back when you were a youngin'. Look at me saying youngin'. Okay, look at me. All right, so number 3, you choose better friends. So you're probably going to have less friends in your 30s, and that is 100% a great thing, because you have weeded out all of the fake friends, you know, all of the acquaintances that don't really add to your life. Like in your 30s, you're all about protecting your energy and your space, and like you don't have time for people who aren't going to add to your life. So you really have much better friends by the time you're in your 30s. And really, I want to say, I mean, at least in my experience, you have a lot less drama between friends when you get in your 30s. You know, some people are a little immature, but I feel like, you know, you're making better choices with your friends, your life, and all of that. So you do have better friends when you're in your 30s. Number 4, you are having more fun because you have more money. Listen, in your 20s and in your teens, you're still trying to get in the club before a certain time, or you still trying to like get on guest lists, or like know somebody who worked there so you don't got to wait in line and pay at the club. Listen, when you're in your 30s, one, you probably won't be clubbing all that much. Don't take it from me though, because I still go all the time. But because I love to dance. But you have more money, so you can actually with your friends be like, you know what, girl, we balling. Let's just give bottle service. Let's do something like that. Now, I don't really do that because you know, I'm a little more cheap than I am willing to just throw $300, $400 on like one bottle. But you know, more power to those that do. You know, maybe if I had more money, I would be doing that. But really, I would rather spend $300-$400 on a flight, which you can do in your 30s because you're much more financially stable with your work, with your employment. So you can travel a lot more. You can see the world. You can have more experiences because you can actually afford those things. All right, so number 5. This just might be my favorite, but you as a woman reach your sexual peak in your 30s. So that means you're having a little bit more fun. You're enjoying things a lot more because you're, what did I say? You know yourself. You're more confident. You choose better. So that means you are about to have a much better experience because you know what you want. You know how to ask for it. Okay, and you gonna get it because you chose the right person to do it with. So listen, I'm so glad to be in my 30s. All right, so those are my 5 reasons why your 30s are more lit than your 20s. I'm gonna give you guys a couple tips that I got from a few friends on social media over this week about what they wish they would have known in their 20s and what they wish they would have known about their 30s. So a couple things. Shout out to my friends who participated. So 1, your 30s are more fun than your 20s. So work hard now and go hoard after. And also your 20s go by fast, so make sure you take care of business in your 20s because it's going to set the stage for your future. Some of my other friends said that your 30s get even better. You start to go gray in places that you wouldn't expect. Now let me say that hasn't happened to me yet, but I'm not counting it out. Let's just say I'm not holding my breath for that one. Another one, invest more. Invest more. That is so important. I feel like that might be one of the best things you could do in your 20s is invest more, because starting early makes such a huge difference. Like between the interest, between like how the money compounds, like you'll learn about this. I actually am going to do one of these videos on investing because I feel like more women of color particularly need to learn about investing and like making smart choices with your money. So yes, invest more and start in your 20s. Start in your teens, really. When you get your first job, start figuring out how you can start investing your money, whether it's a 401k, whether it's your own personal retirement accounts that you can open up so that by the time you retire, you got money that you've been putting into, whether it's trading, you know, like trading stocks and things like that. There's different apps that you can use. So we'll talk about that later, but definitely invest more. Another thing a friend said was, I wish someone had told me going to college and getting a degree wouldn't solidify what I do in life. Ooh, Listen. That one really struck home because I would say between the ages of like 28, 29, I was definitely going through that struggle where I felt like I went to college, I did all this studying, went into all this debt, and I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do what I had gone to school for. And like, that is a really, really hard pill to swallow, especially, like I said, when you spend a lot of money and time and effort and energy going for a degree that you may not use. So I highly suggest, when you graduate from high school, definitely college is a great experience. I think it's important to really take some time and just learn yourself, travel. Even if you started a community college, which I highly suggest, they have study abroad programs and you can like go study in another country. There's nothing like studying somewhere else or even just being somewhere else, especially alone or by yourself, that really it teaches you more about yourself. So yeah, anyway, that's a side note. Another thing someone said, it's all part of the puzzle. So your 20s, your 30s, it's all part of the puzzle. Embrace it all now and know that ultimately everything lands right side up because it's all part of the puzzle. And don't let the story of who you are obscure the truth of who you are. And that is so important. Like I said, in your 30s, you start to be more secure, more confident. You know who you are and you understand that your past and your mistakes do not define you, and you can literally create the future that you want. And yeah, so those are the tips and advice that I got from my friends. And basically, don't let anybody make you feel like getting older sucks or like being in your 30s sucks. Like, listen, if you need to know anything, Beyonce made Lemonade at 35. Okay, we can end right there. That's really all when I seen that, I was like, you know what, you're right. Beyonce made Lemonade at 35 and that album was everything. Okay, Solange, Rihanna, like I said, she just turned 30. Like Oprah, her career started in her 30s. Ava DuVernay, like she started directing films in her 30s. So many people have this story where they really took off. Their life was lit in their 30s. So definitely enjoy your 20s, have fun, work hard, and yeah, 30s are lit. Thank you. So thank you guys so much for watching, for listening. Make sure you subscribe to Femme Nouveau on YouTube, like the videos, comment, share, do all that stuff, because I hope to reach more people with what it is that I'm doing. So yeah, thanks guys. Keep her with me. Can you keep her with me? Look both ways before you start trying to